with Stuart Brisgel and David Solomon every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern. You think about it, we rant about it. Listen to us live on Facebook.
Wow, I get the finger pointed at me. It's the right finger, though, not the wrong finger. Guys, it is Friday, the end of the week. I am mellow yellow. It is Black Friday. You know, what is Black Friday different than White Friday? It's because all the retail stores are blacking out their prices, giving you incredible deals in the United States. If you believe that, I've got a bridge to sell you in New York called the Brooklyn Bridge. But we're not here to talk about bridges, Thanksgiving, or anything else like that, or LeBron James' net worth. We're here to talk about China, cow tipping, the NBA, and the resistance. And
Ah,
Nike. And David, it is 79 degrees, sunny, beautiful skies. I hear there's a little snow in Montreal.
yeah, but the snow is really not going to fall here in Montreal. The storm is going to end up on the athletes. And this is really what it's all about today. And it's like, there's a new sport in America, people. It's called Ripping America. Let's rip America because there's nothing good in the United States. There's no ability to prosper. Everyone is a slave. It's disgusting and it's vile. And there are athletes, coaches, corporations who will do everything in their power to shit all over what's really good in the United States.
I don't
So
want to correct you. Shit or crap on?
yeah, that too. So let's give you the background story here. So when Donald Trump was elected back in 2016, ESPN and the rest of them, their ratings were tanking, and they decided that the best way to rebound on the ratings was to go after go on the political side. Watching other stations like the NBCs and the CNNs, as their ratings went back up because of Trump and the crapping on Trump, the ESPN did the same thing by going after the athletes and say, "What do you think?" And it gave them a bigger voice box than ever. Now, if you ever go think about guys like Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan, they stayed far, far away from a lot of the political stuff because they said their politics is their own issue. But apparently not so much in the NBA. And in the NBA, guys like Steve Kerr, the coach of the Golden State Warriors, and my good friend LeBron James, who my son continues to say I hate, and say, no, I'm impressed with his basketball skills, not his political skills, has gone out of his way, more often than not, to crap on the United States. His claim is that he's there to protect social injustice, Stuart. But you want to know the truth is he is going after one thing. Money, money, money. That's all he cares about, because the more he rants about these things, the more people like him, his stock goes up. But interestingly enough, Stuart, I don't know if you know the story, but a couple of years ago, the NBA wants to expand into China. Now, the NBA knows that this is a 1.5 billion person market, a lot of money there. Nike is dying to sell shoes in there. They're a $40 billion corporation that's looking at more money, and the NBA is their marketing arm, and they're saying, you know what? If we could get into China, we'll make even more money. And the NBA went in there on an exhibition tour, and one of the general managers opened their mouth and said something negative about China. Everyone was thrown out.
$400
Everyone was
million.
thrown out. And so as a result, a doctrine came down saying you can't talk anymore about China negatively. Now, here's the problem, Stuart. In the same week that we had the Rittenhouse trial, a Chinese tennis star disappeared because she accused a Chinese official of sexual impropriety. She disappeared. Interestingly enough, many, many athletes from different sports expressed their concern for her and distaste towards China,
Yep.
except LeBron in the NBA.
Well, it's more than just LeBron. I mean, first of all, let me put this up on the screen, David. It's the Miami Heat forward, Jimmy Butler, Portland
Stuart.
Trailblazer guard, C.J. McCollum, Klay Thompson, shooting for our Golden State Warriors. They all have lucrative contracts with Li Ning or Anta, right? So it's not just LeBron James. And again, I
No,
know
I didn't
you
say it
were
was
going
just
to.
LeBron. I'm saying it's
No,
all, but LeBron is at the forefront, my friend. He wants to talk about all he keeps saying is this political injustice is not acceptable.
but
But
it's
when it
not
comes
only, it's not just political injustice. it's benefiting financially off the
Correct.
benefit of slave labor. So
Correct.
here is a man in America who actually stood behind Black Lives Matter, is actually supporting slave labor. And let me tell you something, it's not white slave labor, by the way. So
Oh, I know,
technically
I
it's
know,
of
I know.
color, but they're
Well,
Chinese. So
but yeah,
LeBron James just doesn't give a shit
but
about Chinese, I guess.
it's all about the money, because at the end of the day, if you stay quiet about China and they enter China, his endorsements go up, his salaries go up. It's all about the money. It's not about social injustice. He was caught with his pants down, being on the wrong side when he went after a cop in Ohio. He basically said, "You're next," and got caught. He likes to do this. He wants to poke, thinking that everybody's going to love his social justice stance. And then on the other hand, it's all about what goes into his pocket. And it's not just him, it's all the athletes. And you know what, Stuart, the problem I have is, and I picked on China, but it's a fascinating thing to watch how Nike and other corporations are thrilled by this. Crap on America, but don't crap on China.
Well, well,
It's
that's
a
the Marxist.
fascinating. No, it's not just
That's
it's not a Marxist thing. I'll give you another example, and this is a little bit off the topic, but so Enes Kanter is a center. He's a second, third-rate basketball player. Comes from Turkey. Now he ripped apart the President Erdogan, calling him an autocrat, a dictator. He basically painted him the way a lot of the people in the world have painted him. Well, Erdogan decided to say that if Kanter doesn't shut up, he threatened his family in Turkey. Threatened his family. Okay? So what does LeBron James, when Enes Kanter says, "I'm putting my family on the line to get real justice done," LeBron didn't want to even address him. He says Kanter's not even worth his time. So it just shows you that to LeBron James, they're doing the right thing. If there's no money behind it, there's no need to do it. And
you
the
know,
NBA and Nike are supporting this move. And the people, you know what? I think the funniest thing, there's a great book, or I think it's called "Even Conservatives Buy Sneakers." And so for Nike to go out and to do this kind of thing and to push this liberal agenda, to push this down everybody's throat, that we're going to crap on, the United States, and we're going to make everything bad. It is a sport now, but the sport is all about making money elsewhere. Stuart, I mean, to me, if if the way Nike can learn, and it's funny because I talked to my son and I said, "Hey, now that you know this," and he was the one who brought it to my attention also, "are you going to boycott Nike?" And he looks at me and goes, "Oh man, it's hard because I love their merch." And I'm like, "Great, but are you going to boycott Nike? Because look what
well,
Nike's no, Nike is a hypocrite."
yeah, listen, it's not the first time we've railed on Nike and their woke movement, and it's not the first time we've railed on LeBron James and
Oh
his
no.
greedy motherfucking attitude about me, not me too, me. And you know what? He's not the only guy. And to be honest with you, I think that LeBron James, and I feel really bad, has a really bad rap. I feel really, really sorry for this guy. And, I really hope that, we don't really pick on him too much because he's a very sympathetic character in the world. You think I'm fucking kidding? I'm joking. The fucking idiot needs to be taught a lesson. This guy should be expelled for the NBA from life. The NBA, I hope you get expelled for China from life. And I hope that you figure out that going against America or North America or being pro slave labor, communistic regimes costs you and your CEO your pension, your job, and your estates and your
Yeah.
jets. And
Well,
you know what? May Adidas conquer you.
the funny story, I got to tell you a story, not about, I don't remember how it was. Like, yeah, it was 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. Laura Ingraham, not a big fan of hers on Fox News. I find her
She's too
sometimes a
much of
little,
a Christian zealot. I know. I agree.
I'm not a big fan of hers, but she basically told LeBron to shut up and dribble. And that became the mantra in the NBA for so many of these athletes who all suddenly said, "Hey, you know what? I can't believe this conservative. We're trying to make change. We're trying to affect change. How dare this conservative?" And they keep throwing this back in her face. Well, today I'm going to tell you something. LeBron James It's time for you to shut the fuck up and just go out and play your basketball, because your pretenses, they're worthless to us. If you really care about social injustice, then you gotta play the part. You can't just stand there and claim that everything is wrong in America. You can't claim that every time there is a white on black crime alleged, and I'm not going to get into the Rittenhouse story here, but even that story he got wrong. He was on the wrong side of the report. He's on the wrong side all the time with this kind of stuff. But it's a fascinating thing to see is that when it comes to hurting his pocket, though, suddenly he becomes super quiet. A Chinese tennis star disappears. A political scenario in China. And many athletes cross sports, but the NBA. And it just shows you the gag order that came down from Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, Nike, that it's all about the almighty dollar. It's the NFL has proven it. Other sports have proven it. I'm not just blaming LeBron. I'm just using LeBron as the poster child because everybody loves LeBron. Everybody loves LeBron. And you know what, Stuart? LeBron James, to me, is a basketball player. He's a fortunate guy, supremely gifted athlete, very successful in what he's done. But you notice how much of a whiner he is, how he expects everything to go his way. And when it comes to this, he deserves to get the flack that's being sent his way. I know the libs love him. I know the left loves him. I know that people, the social justice, whatever, love him because they think that he is doing the right thing. But the reality is he's causing more harm. He isn't helping.
No, he's not. He's not. And you know what? He's just a dumbass who got really lucky. And you know what? There are thousands of people that should have been more lucky than LeBron James. And it's unfortunate that the poor character nature of this man is what's called on top of the NBA. And you know what? He will be forgotten.
He won't be
Many other
forgotten. No,
people.
no, no.
Like
He won't. Stuart, no. I don't agree. He will not be forgotten because he is going to go to the Hall of Fame. And they're going to crown him as one of the, the Mount Rushmore of basketball. And that's going to be the way it's going to be from a basketball. But I'm curious to see once his career is ended, and it won't be much longer, whether or not he's going to do the social justice, real social justice that the women NBA have played with. The ladies on their side did way more. There was one, I don't know if you were aware of this, Stuart. You want to talk about social justice, not crapping on America, but really making change? One WNBA star quit the game to help an innocent man and that's a person who really wants to affect change. LeBron James just wants to increase his net worth. And that's what makes, what's ill. And so many people are not willing to look at that. They want to just admire look how wonderful he is and how great he is. And the liberal media continues, and the ESPNs and the rest of them all think he's wonderful. And we should continue to put the mic in his face because he's going to affect change in America. No, what you're doing is you're just inciting more. You're creating more divisiveness like we talked about on Wednesday. I mean, really, if you really want to stand up to something, I challenge you and all the rest of the NBA. Stand up to China. Stand up to other places where the people are actually suffering. Because if you're telling me you're suffering in the United States, I got a hard time with that.
Dave,
overall, I got a hard time with that.
We're getting to the end of the quarter hour, and I'm sick and tired of talking about LeBron James. He isn't ever going to change. He ain't ever going to learn a lesson. You know what? He's too much of a pig-headed, arrogant fucker who just cares about the almighty dollar and doesn't really care about the little people. And for all the little people that care about him, find someone better to look at. He's definitely not an idol. He's definitely not a person to look up to. He's just another Rockefeller, another Kennedy. They are out for themselves. And if you don't understand that, then you're the fool buying fool's gold. On that note, David, it's the end of our Friday rant.
It's a Friday rant. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the U.S. and it's still Thanksgiving for you and you're recovering from gobble gobble, have yourself a great weekend. Hope you recover by Monday. You have your Gaviscon or Tums or Rolaids with you, whatever it is that you need to survive. Us in Canada, we'll just continue to enjoy the snow and all the rest of the stuff that's happening here. I'm going to wish you all a great weekend. We'll catch you on